pulling rabbits from his hat. I didn't know it worked like that. Seems great until you do the math. And now people waking up, poking heads out of their stuff. What an expensive turtle shell. That's probably just as well because oh, I don't want to be the machine powered by a material dream. Now the people want the truth. Though the truth that can't be found, well, it's just an artifact. And it's buried in the ground. And I know I'm to blame. Let's call it by its true name. Well, I never held a gun, but I gave it to your son, and I watched it lull him to sleep with the hypnotic hum of the machine. Go ahead and tune me out. You've got it figured out. You say you don't even watch the news. It's giving you the blues. But if it was at your door, the cost of foreign war, tell me, what would you say just then? Hell, you tell me to pretend that we're not the machine powered by the material dream. There she goes again. Here she goes again, speaking her beliefs. It's not just problems here. I've got solutions too. Let's say we turn up the TVs. See if that brings some clarity. We work with what we got, put it in the pot, and then the teachers get a raise. Cause it's time that they got paid, and we legalize the shit. Tax the fuck right out of it if it helps hungry people eat. That's alright with me because oh, I don't want to be the machine powered by the material dream.
Welcome to the Best You discussion. Rob and I thank you for joining us. Now, if you have any questions, ask them. Robin's ready to receive them. If you have questions later, or you want to receive our bi-monthly blog, send us an email at bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Again, that's bestyouguru@yahoo.com. You know, we enjoy our work and we ask for your support. Best You is our business. If we provide a useful service, send us $7 to $10. Send it to Venmo at Robin-Shivery, or you can use PayPal. Our PayPal account is bestyouguru@yahoo.com. You can watch previous editions of the Best You discussion on our YouTube channel. Look us up. Look up Best You discussion on the YouTube subscription page. Like and subscribe. Then we'll always be there for you. Look for the Best You green and blue diamond. And while you're at it, like us on the Facebook page. You know, I apologize for an oversight last week. I failed to acknowledge the music was provided by two good friends, Christy Saul and John Sutter. Christy and John are great people, and they add a lot to this world, and I thank them for the music last week. Tonight's music was provided by the amazing Amy Hendrickson. Amy just released her latest album, Grit and Gold. It can be found on Amazon and Spotify. Also, please watch her documentary entitled Local Honey. Local Honey can be found on YouTube. It features people who love what they do. It's not for the fame or fortune. It's local musicians. And you get a taste for local honey. We've added a special feature tonight. As we close our Best You discussion, we believe we've added something that will be of great benefit. Robin, do you want to inform our listeners, our viewers?
Our viewers, our listeners? Yeah, we are going to have just a couple of minutes of some relaxation breath work or breathing techniques. It's not really work, so it'll be a good way to end your night.
Awesome. I look forward to it. I don't know if you all know this, but Robin is excellent at restorative yoga. I've seen people come out of her class totally relaxed, ready to conquer the world. So I anticipate a good ending this evening. Now tonight we're going to change up a little bit. We're going to answer last week's questions in the beginning in a segment we call Hey Harry. So if you have any questions, just say, Hey Harry, I got a question. Type it in. Robin will get it to me. And if not, email it to us. First question tonight from last week is, how can making money help or fit in with us living our authentic identity? Well, your vocation could be your authentic identity, and your job could fund your authentic identity. You know, you could use the income from your job to support what it is you were meant to do in this life, your greatness. Not everybody does what they want to do to earn income, but they earn income to support a hobby that they were meant to do, write a book they were meant to write. We were all meant for some form of greatness, and it doesn't have to be tied to our income producing mechanism. We can use that job to support our greatness. So that making money is merely a vehicle by which can help you live your greatness. Why is the stock market going up and down so damn dramatically? Well, there's two reasons. One is leadership. Political leadership is critical to the stock market because Wall Street likes stability. They like predictability. A person can make money whether the stock market goes up or goes down. Stability is the key. Predictability is the key. A business, when you run a business, you need to have a stable and predictive market. If you don't know how to plan. So it's more difficult to earn income next month if you don't know if you're going to have any customers next month, if you're going to have a workforce next month. It's difficult to plan a budget with instability. And so a lot of the stock market that you see going up 500 points, down 500 points, is because our leadership is producing an environment that's not very stable. And the stock market doesn't like instability. The second thing is computerized trading based on algorithms. A lot of the sales or buys of stock is based upon what an algorithm predicts was going to happen. So a dramatic swing could be just merely computerized selling or computerized buying. Has nothing to do with the person. What's the best way to save money? Well, that's a great question because I believe you pay yourself first. The best way to save money is to view yourself as a bill. So pay yourself first. You can do that through a 401k or at your work, or you can have it automatically withdrawn from your paycheck and put into a savings account at a bank, or any form of saving institution. Low interest rates appear to be a good thing right now. but it's not, because low interest rates discourage savings and it encourages borrowing. Debt is not always a good thing. It could be a good thing to buy a house, to start a business. But too many people confuse debt to prosperity. Prosperity doesn't come off of debt. As a nation, we are not encouraging people to save. I encourage you to save. 30 million people right now are out of work, and we have the highest debt in history. Encouraging more debt is not necessarily a winning formula. If you choose not to have an automatic withdrawal, or if you do not have a 401k plan, a system I love and I use every day is a 3 envelope system. And what I suggest is, whether it's $1 a day, $5 a day, or $10 a day, or a penny a day, get 3 envelopes and put a designated amount of money into each envelope. On one envelope, you write the word charity and put an amount of money in that. The second one, write the word savings. That's for the rainy day fund. And the third envelope, put investment. I think we need to provide charity when the cause is right and you feel so led. I think we need to save for rainy day. And I think we need to learn how to invest. You can't invest if you have no money. So use the 3 envelopes, and I think that's one of the best ways I know to save money. Plus the fact you have control over it. I don't know really where this comes from, but this is a very technical question. What is the yield curve, and why is it important? The yield curve is very simply the interest paid compared to a 10-year Treasury note, or a 30-year Treasury note, and a 1-year Treasury note. If the government is paying more for a 1-year Treasury note, more interest, than a 10-year or a 30-year Treasury note, that shows lack of confidence. Because if you let someone hold your money for a longer period of time, they should pay you more interest. So what the government does when you buy a Treasury bond or any kind of Treasury security, they measure what they pay short term against what they pay long term. If the short term is higher than the long term, that shows people don't have long-term confidence in the government. And any time that yield curve, those two invert, historically, it's always predicted a recession or depression 12 months to 18 months later. Every time. It's always been that way. So the yield curve is a great predictor of a future economy. If you have any questions, please email me. I hope I kind of explained that simply. Next question, should I invest in the stock market? Well, that all depends on your knowledge, your comfort, and your willingness to lose the invested money. Don't invest what you can't lose. If you can't afford to lose it, don't invest it in the stock market. Your best investment is in you, in your health, in the food you eat. You know, we have a good friend that lives in Germany, Danny Becker, who is amazed how Americans do not put a lot of value and we eat a lot of junk food. If your best investment is you and your health. So I would be careful of what you eat and spend money on good food. Second, your education. Read more. The majority of Americans fail to read a complete book after they finish their formal education. If you want to invest in something good, invest in reading. And your future. Invest in some kind of savings plan. So as opposed to investing in the stock market, I would make sure you invest in yourself first. This is not necessarily a question, but more of a statement. Somebody wrote in, I just want to be rich. I just want to be rich. this series is about financial therapy. So the way I'll answer that is Adam Smith, who is the father of American capitalism. Here's a quote: "What can be added to the happiness of a man who is in health, out of debt, and has a clear conscience?" So if you just want to be rich, the words of Adam Smith ring true. I want to start a business and be my own boss. The first question I would ask is why? What does owning your own business look like to you? Do you know what that looks like? Running your own business does not always mean you are the boss. Your customers are your boss. So be careful about what you ask for. What I would say, if you really want to be your own boss and run a business, what are your inherent strengths? What is your authentic identity? If you're unsure of what kind of business you want to run, I'm a big fan of direct marketing. Reason being, direct marketing, as some people refer to it, MLM, a relationship marketing, but it's a great way to learn how to run a business. It has a low capital investment. You can get into a lot of network marketing for $500, $200. So you're not going to lose your home. Most people, but let me warn you about network marketing, most people do not get rich off of network marketing, but it's a good way of making maybe $400 or $500 extra a month. The great thing, the best thing about network marketing, it teaches you a business, and there's numerous partners to help you. It connects you with people. And the only thing I would caution anybody in network marketing, be wary of the hype. If somebody tells you they're going to get rich, you're going to get rich real quick, I'd walk away. Network marketing, I believe, is a great business opportunity for most people because it teaches you how to face rejection. It teaches you how to make business plans, and it teaches you a lot about people. And you can learn all that for a low investment cost. So please, if you have any questions, just ask. Robin's there waiting for you. Or email me at bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Tonight is the second in our series entitled Financial Therapy. This is critical because we are living in economic uncertain times, and economic understanding seems to be lacking in our society. That lack of understanding is limiting a lot of people in living their dreams. So we're dedicating several segments of our Best You discussion to financial understanding. But let me recap some points from last discussion. If you want to be rich, write what your definition of rich is. Be clear. A lot of people say they want to be rich, but they have no idea what that is, what it looks like, what it feels like, what it tastes like. Second thing, remember, money is a tool. It's not the measure of a person. It is merely a tool. Never be embarrassed if you lack money. There's no shame in being poor. Have dignity. Have dignity in wherever you find yourself in economic standing. And the fourth thing we talked about last week or last session, what we focus on expands. If you focus on being in debt, you will continue being in debt. So learn to expand your focus and focus on something other than your lack of opportunity, lack of skills. Focus on greatness. Tonight we will discuss three main things. We'll discuss the two types of money, the womb lottery, and capitalism versus neoliberalism. You know, if you take a grad school economics class, they'll teach you, or they'll try to teach you, that there's four basic types of money. There's commodity money, and that's just merely barter exchanges. Then they have a fiat money, and that's money they call fiat money. It's strictly valued by the government. And let me remind you what Adam Smith says about fiat money. Adam Smith tells us that the problem with fiat money is that it rewards the minority that can handle money, but fools the generation that has worked hard and saved money. The third type of money they're going to teach you is fiduciary money. That fiduciary money is money exchanged based on confidence of individual parties. I loan you money because I'm confident that you'll pay me back. That's fiduciary money. And the fourth type is commercial bank money, which is a mortgage, a loan on a bank. It's a claims against a financial institution used to make purchases. Okay, so now you can pass the grad school exam on economics and the types of money. But that doesn't help us on Main Street. So let's talk about Main Street economics. There are two basic types of money. For my purposes and your purposes, there's really only two basic types of money. That's income and wealth. Income is what someone pays you in exchange for something. The income you spend becomes the income of someone else. Income is circular. Always. Income pays the bill. So the first type of money is income. The second type of money is wealth. Wealth is the value of assets we own, the physical things. Wealth can go up or down, depending on what someone else is willing to pay you for it. Your home, gold, your car, this is all wealth. Wealth is income that is stopped from the circulation process. Piggy banks or buried shoeboxes full of cash in the backyard. That can be wealth because it's out of circulation. Or wealth can be, you can turn it into something that generates more income. So you can use wealth to generate income through stocks, bonds, savings accounts. You can invest in a business, real estate, or some other investment vehicle. But remember, income pays the bills. Wealth creates freedom. It is wealth that allows you the freedom to live the life you want. Buying things requires more income. Income is circular. Wealth brings you freedom. The freedom found in wealth will never be achieved if all you focus on is income. So where is your focus today? Are you focused on creating more income? Or are you focused on creating wealth? Now, why that's critical is most people I talk with, they say, well, if I just make more money, I could have a better life. That's not necessarily true. If your income remains income, it maintains that circular pattern, and it can never be used to produce the wealth that gives you freedom. Now let that sink in, because you really need to grasp that concept if you're going to have the freedom and the happiness you think you want. There's a subtle difference, but the impact on your life between income and wealth is tremendous. Now this is something that schools rarely teach us, because wealth can disconnect you from the dependency on a job. And this is counter to what most people are taught and can be dangerous to the stability of corporate America. If more people focused on wealth generation, which brings freedom, less people would choose to work at jobs they hate. The more wealth you have, the more freedom you have. The more income you have could just bring about a circular pattern of buying more things that requires more income. I maintain that wealth is best for American capitalism. And income is best for those that want to be dependent on a job. Second thing I want to talk about is the womb lottery. There are people that have an instant economic advantage at birth. That's life. We don't talk much about it, but winners of the womb lottery have an economic advantage that is difficult to overcome. The greatest predictor of wealth in our country is being born rich. It's not working hard. The greatest predictor of wealth in modern America is being born wealthy. President Donald Trump was a multimillionaire when he was a teenager. Think of the car you would have bought at 16 if you were a multimillionaire. The vacations you would have taken. The world you would have seen. The people you would have known. How much different would your life have been if you already had $1 million when you were 16? The list goes on. Think of you as a millionaire before graduating high school. That gives you a distinct advantage over many, many people. Upon the passing of his parents, Donald J. Trump inherited over $400 million. Now, I make no claims if this is right or wrong. It makes little difference in the real world whether it's right or wrong. But I do find it important that you understand the rules of the economic game. Being born into the right zip code can determine your wealth more often than hard work. So what you must decide is if money will bring you happiness. Warren Buffett is a man I admire very deeply. I have a lot of respect for Warren Buffett, and he's very rich. Ken Langone is another man I admire. I consider him a friend, and he is extremely rich. But I would not trade my life for theirs at any price. I don't think their life would bring me happiness. So where's your happiness? Is wealth happiness? Is being rich happy to you? If being rich means being happy, listen up. If being rich means a lot of money, look elsewhere. I do not think money brings the happiness that we're led to believe. You see, money can be earned, money can be stolen, money can be inherited, money can be found, but money is fleeting. Winning the womb lottery does not ensure happiness. Being born wealthy does not ensure happiness. If you bought into the idea that money brings you happiness, you may lose. Income pays the bills. Wealth brings freedom. Winners of the womb lottery have an economic advantage in the economic game if you play by someone else's rules. Be careful of the rules you play by. Happiness is so much more than economics. Most Americans are going to have to overcome years of programming to be rich and to be happy. Not everyone can choose the womb from which they came, but you can choose to be happy. You can choose to be rich. You can choose to have the freedom that you seek. But you must learn the rules of the game. Income pays the bills, and wealth will bring you freedom. Third thing I want to talk about is the 401k. 401k was born in 1976 or 78, or originated in 1978, and it slowly replaced company pension plans. The 401k is promoted as a retirement program. It is often matched by the dollars provided by an employer. You put 3% of your income in, your employer puts 3% or matches it. Or 5%, 3%, 1%. Every company's different. But it is promoted as a way for employees to take advantage of the stock market. Now, I encourage people to review the 401k if their employer offers one. It can really be a great way of saving money. It invests pre-tax dollars, which reduces your tax burden. So if you make $40,000 a year and you put $5,000 of that into a 401k, you're only taxed at $35,000. So it can reduce your tax burden. Plus, if your employer matches it, you have an economic advantage because now you've only reduced your tax burden, but you made money based upon what the employer matches. It can be a good deal for many people as long as the investments perform well. The problem I see is that other people are investing your money. How comfortable are you with that? The economic recession beginning in 2008 wiped out or reduced the majority of 401k plans in America. Some of them have never recovered. Many people believe, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but there's a lot of research to say that 401k plans came about merely as vehicles for the very rich to play with your money on Wall Street. So it has boosted up Wall Street by providing more money. But you know, it's getting a little too deep, but just know that the general rule of thumb is if you have no interest in monitoring your investments, if you don't know how to go in and analyze an investment or look at a fund and determine whether you want to invest in it or not, then invest an amount equal to what the company matches. If the 401k is self-directed, where it gives you the advantage of investing in the stocks or bonds, mutual funds that you choose, then I'd say invest a little bit more. Invest what you feel comfortable, depending on your tax status and goals. But remember, you're investing in the stock market, and that goes up and down. Pension plans, which 401ks replace basically, the only people that I know of generally that, as a rule of thumb, that have pension plans now are government workers. And pension plans are insured. You work for someplace for 30 years, you get a pension. Well, you could work for somebody for 30 years with 401k and wind up with nothing based upon what the stock market does. Is it up or down? But it did provide, beginning in 1978, a lot of money for Wall Street to play with, because now they're playing with your retirement. So those are the three things we want to talk about tonight. But one last thing about your retirement. You will retire from your job at some point. At some point in your life, you will retire from their income producing vehicle. So I would say while you're making an income, learn how to invest. And if it doesn't come that way, if you're never separated from your job before you can retire, you'll never know it anyway. So prepare as if you will retire. Let's recap. There's two types of money. Income. Remember, income pays the bills and it's circular. Wealth, well, wealth produces freedom. So what's really important to you? Having a lot of money, having a nice house, a nice car, a fancy boat, the finest clothes, which requires more income to maintain that? Or is freedom really important to you? That's something you have to decide. Robin and I have a very good friend who turned down an amazing opportunity to have her music represented by one of the finest agencies in the country because she wanted to maintain control of her music and her work. Freedom was more important to her than stardom. So, is freedom or stardom more important to you? Second, the womb lottery, the greatest predictor of wealth in modern America, is being born wealthy. Just understand the rules of the game. Don't try to compare yourself or your accomplishments with someone who has won the womb lottery. The race that we should judge ourselves by is how far we've come. Some people don't have to travel very far to get to the finish line, and some have to travel a great distance. How far did you have to travel is the mark of achievement. And three, we talked about 401ks, a retirement plan that requires your economic participation. Now, if you have any questions about types of income for Main Street America, the womb lottery, or 401k, please ask. I want everyone watching to understand the system of economics that we are participating in. Many people are losing their economic capacity because they fail to understand the rules of the game. So as with all of our topics, questions are welcome, so please ask. You can email us at bestyouguru@yahoo.com. And again, if we provided a benefit by our discussions, and only if we provided a benefit, because this is our business, send between $7 and $10 to Venmo at Robin-Shivery, or you can PayPal it at bestyouguru@yahoo.com. Now mark your calendar, set an alarm, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell everybody you know, get the word out that our next Best You discussion is set for July 14th. We will discuss the financial scoreboards. How do you tell if you're winning? Do you even know if you're winning? How do you tell if you're winning or you're losing? Or are you just fooling yourself? Do you really want to know the economic score? Do you? You know, my hope for you is you receive everything you deserve. So now for the moment I've been waiting for, because I'm really excited. Robin, will you close our Best You discussion?
I would love to. I just need your earbuds. This is going to look totally unprofessional, but it's the best way to do this, I think. So give me those earbuds and trade seats with me.
I can do that. Left.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome. Hi, guys. I'm sorry about the noise putting these in, but we felt like with our high technology, this would be the best way for you to be able to hear me. So thank you for hanging on with us for a second there for that smooth transition. Just wanted to let you know that I'm very excited to be here tonight to share this breath work, this breath technique that is going to help us absorb, marinate in that information you just got from Harry. Today's my mom's 83rd birthday. And unfortunately, she's still not here with us to celebrate it. But oh, wow, did she ever. So I would be remiss if I didn't share that and just, wish her a happy birthday and thank her for making me so I could be here for you guys tonight. So wherever you are, try to get comfortable. I'm going to get a little more comfortable myself. So just get a little more comfortable in your chair, on the floor, in your meditation area. You have time to move. If you want to find a more comfy place, please do that. And find yourself an easy seat, a comfortable sitting position, whether it be in a chair or on the floor, on a blanket, right behind those sitting bones, your little butt bones. If you put that blanket just behind them, changes the tilt of your pelvis, and sometimes people find that more comfortable. So the most important thing right now is to find that comfortable seating position. And after you settle in and find that perfect way to sit for just the next couple of minutes, I'd like you to either close your eyes or find a downcast gaze wherever you're more comfortable there. And I'd like you to take a deep breath in, and I almost wish I could hear you, and breathe out. Do that again. In and out. One more time. In. And with each one of those exhales, hopefully you've gotten rid of some shit from the day. Something that's clinging around in there. Like medicine, sometimes it blocks receptors. And that way, something else trying to get in can't. So, breath work's kind of like that. We kind of let that bad out so that we can let the good in. So again, just pretend like it's just me and you in a room. Close your eyes again, and we're going to do a different breathing technique. It's a 3-part breath. And you're going to first bring that breath all the way down, breathing in through your nose, bring it all the way down to your lower belly. Bring it up to your ribs, your collarbone. Hold, and then exhale from your collarbone, your ribs, your belly. Again, inhale, bring it all the way down like you're filling a glass. It starts from the bottom, and it fills and fills. And then as you drink, it comes from the top, and it goes lower and lower. Another breath in. And out. Into your belly, your ribs, your collarbone. And exhale from your collarbone, your ribs, and your belly. I'm going to ask you to continue that breath and totally tune out my words, or listen as if in a dream, kind of in the background. But as you're continuing breathing in for about a count of 3 or 5, and breathing out for that same count, maybe in your mind's eye, picture the video, if you took a moment to watch it at the beginning tonight, of that stream. And on your exhale, just think of that stream, that waterfall, just washing all the excess things away. As you inhale, you fill yourself with energy. And as you exhale, the things that don't need to be there in the way just wash down the stream. About 7 years ago, 8 years ago, my mom had asked to be cremated, and when she passed, we followed her wishes. And we took her ashes, as she asked us, to Nakalula Falls in Alabama. And as I stood on that bridge and Harry watched from a distance, I let those ashes go. And that stream carried them down to the waterfall. And somewhere now she's in an ocean. She's all around us. Water is so powerful. It gets into crevices. It shapes rocks. It shapes land. It goes where it wants to go. So my message in that was just to allow yourself in these constantly changing times, when you never know what will be new when you turn on the radio or the news, to come back to your breath and allow your inhales to fill you with those things that you need, that energy, that calm, that peace. And then allow those exhales to release the excess, the unneeded, the unnecessary, the things that are holding you down, and just become like water and go with the flow. What new directive they give you at work, what thing changes in your life because you're isolated right now. Maybe from the people and the things that you're used to. Allow the times you feel anxious or upset or unsettled to remember this 3-part breath. In the OR, at times I use this 3-part breath to calm me, to center me. So before we cut out from each other tonight, just let me remind you, let's go through that breath a couple more times. So you'll remember it, and hopefully, if it's for you, you'll be able to use it this week. Through your nose, breathe in and feel the breath go all the way to your bottom of your belly, and then your ribs and your collarbone. Exhale from your collarbone, your ribs, and your belly. Again. One last time. And now exhale. And gently blink your eyes open. And just know that the light within me sees, honors, and respects the light within you. Namaste.